Imagine walking through your neighborhood, noticing not the familiar faces of neighbors, but an ever-changing stream of strangers towing suitcases. This is an increasingly common scenario in cities across the United States, where residential properties once housing long-term tenants are now serving the ever-growing demand of short-term vacation rentals. Spearheaded by platforms like Airbnb, this shift is reshaping urban landscapes, influencing housing markets, and remolding community demographics with a depth and breadth that is only beginning to be understood. As picturesque as it might seem for tourism, the reality for residents can be far different, fraught with rising rents and a dwindling housing supply. This essay will delve into the socio-economic impacts of Airbnb and similar platforms on US urban housing markets, uncovering the layers of influence exerted by short-term rentals. The inception of Airbnb in 2008 marked the beginning of a significant shift in how people travel and stay in cities. Conceptualized as a platform to rent out spare rooms or unused apartments, Airbnb has burgeoned into a crucial segment of the tourism industry. As of 2020, there were over 4 million hosts offering everything from a couch in their living room to luxurious villas in remote locales, significantly altering the dynamics of local housing markets. With this expansive growth, major US cities have seen an influx of visitors choosing Airbnbs over traditional hotels, attracted by competitive pricing and the charm of living like a local. This idea, appealing as it is to tourists, often glosses over the underlying economic effects these platforms introduce to residential housing markets. The staggering success of Airbnb did not just create new tourism opportunities. It spawned a market shift where property owners, recognizing the profitability in short-term rentals, moved to capitalize, often at the expense of available long-term housing. The financial allure of Airbnb is undeniable. For many homeowners, the potential revenue from short-term rentals far exceeds traditional leasing. A study from Harvard University reveals that in markets dense with Airbnb listings, such as Los Angeles and New York, monthly revenues from short-term rentals can be double or triple that of long-term leases. However, this increased revenue for homeowners comes with a broader economic repercussion: rising rents. As landlords opt for short-term rentals, the reduced supply exacerbates demand in tightly packed urban centers, where housing was already a premium. Consequently, long-standing residents find themselves edged out, priced out, or both. Detailed analyses suggest that for every 1% increase in Airbnb listings, there's a corresponding 0.018% increase in rents. This might seem negligible at a glance, but in populous cities, it significantly contributes to the overall cost of living, altering the socio-economic fabric of communities. The dip in housing availability due to the conversion of long-term rentals into short-term ones is a fundamental issue. This transition reduces the stock of available housing and, in many cases, leads to a touristification of neighborhoods, wherein properties are increasingly developed not for residents but for transient visitors. The impact is twofold. First, with fewer units available for long-term rent, competition stiffens, driving up rental prices. Second, the allure of profitable short-term rentals encourages developers to focus on luxury or high-return units rather than affordable housing, exacerbating the housing crisis in many cities. Data from San Francisco indicate that nearly 25% of potential long-term rental units are listed on Airbnb. This shift not only affects affordability, but also accessibility, with fewer options available for residents, particularly those in lower income brackets. community, and demographic shifts. The transformation of housing from long-term residences to short-term rentals carries significant implications for the social fabric of neighborhoods. Traditional communities with close-knit ties are facing erosion as transient populations increase. The demographic makeup of neighborhoods shifts, often leading to a decrease in community engagement and a dilution of local culture. These changes not only influence the social interactions and stability of communities, but also affect local businesses geared towards residents' needs. Shops and services that once catered to locals may shift towards catering to tourists, or even close if they cannot adapt to the change in clientele. This phenomenon can lead to what some urban planners call ghost neighborhoods, where the vibrancy of resident life is overshadowed by the transient nature of short-term tenants. Further, the constant influx of tourists can strain local resources and infrastructure, which were often not designed to handle high tourist volumes. Increased traffic, noise complaints, and greater wear on public facilities can lead to a decrease in the quality of life for permanent residents, creating a cycle where more long-term inhabitants choose or are forced to leave. As the impacts of Airbnb and similar platforms become more apparent, cities across the US are experimenting with various regulatory measures to balance the benefits and drawbacks of short-term rentals. These regulations range from complete bans and zoning laws to licensing requirements and occupancy taxes. For instance, New York City has implemented strict regulations that limit the ability to rent out properties for less than 30 days unless the host is present. Similarly, San Francisco requires hosts to register with the city, capping the number of days a property can be rented out annually. These measures aim to curb the conversion of long-term rental stock into short-term units while still allowing residents to benefit from supplemental income through platforms like Airbnb. The effectiveness of these regulations varies, with some cities seeing significant decreases in illegal listings, while others struggle with enforcement. The evolving legal landscape reflects an ongoing struggle to find a sustainable balance that supports tourism and local economies without sacrificing the needs of residents. To fully grasp the impact of Airbnb, it is essential to consider the perspectives of those directly affected, homeowners and renters. For many homeowners, platforms like Airbnb have opened up lucrative opportunities. They provide a flexible way to earn income, especially beneficial in times of economic uncertainty or for those struggling with high mortgage payments. Conversely, renters often voice concerns over the instability and unaffordability driven by the proliferation of short-term rentals. In cities like Los Angeles, some renters report frequent moves due to landlords converting long-term rentals into more profitable Airbnb properties. This not only disrupts lives, but also contributes to a sense of impermanence and insecurity among tenant populations. Examining Airbnb's impact in US cities in isolation doesn't provide the full picture. Looking at international markets offers additional insights into how different regulatory frameworks can influence the platform's effects on housing. For example, in Amsterdam, a city well known for its liberal policies, strict regulations have been enforced to control the number of days a property can be rented out, much like in San Francisco. In contrast, cities like Tokyo have embraced Airbnb with fewer restrictions, leading to a rapid expansion of short-term rentals. However, this has also resulted in similar issues faced by US cities, such as increased rental prices and decreased housing availability for locals. As we navigate the complexities introduced by Airbnb and other short-term rental platforms, it becomes clear that no one-size-fits-all solution exists. The challenge lies in developing regulations that effectively balance the economic benefits of tourism with the need to maintain affordable, stable housing for residents. Moving forward, it will be crucial for policymakers, community leaders, and stakeholders to engage in transparent, data-driven dialogues to craft policies that address the nuanced impacts of short-term rentals. As urban landscapes continue to evolve, the goal should remain clear: fostering vibrant, sustainable communities where both residents and visitors can thrive.